Hi, this is Sean Murphy. I'll be the MC for today's PATCA briefing on AI assisted video creation by Gabriella Laszlo. PATCA is a professional and technical consultants association. You can learn more at patca.org. The best way to get started is to join as an associate member for $50. See patka.org/join. You can contact me at skmurphy@skmurphy.com if you have questions. We're fortunate today to have a briefing by Gabriella Laszlo on AI assisted video creation. She consults as CloudGem LLC, a Google Workspace and consultancy that offers consultancy and training. She's passionate about making IT simple and easy. She worked for Google for over 10 years in the localization and operations group. She founded CloudGem to help companies minimize overhead and maximize efficiency, productivity, and agility using Google Workspace business tools. Please use the chat for questions during the formal part of the presentation. We'll have a QA session at the end. Gabriella?
Thank you very much for having me. And let's get started right away. Let's talk about AI-assisted video creation. Our focus today is going to be exploring Google Workspace's Google Vids. So a quick intro about me. My name is Gabriella Laszlo. I own a company called KloudGem, and KloudGem is a Google Workspace consultancy and training company. I provide custom-tailored Google Workspace services, especially focused on the Google suite of tools. Typically, CloudGem is contracted by companies that have transitioned into Google Workspace and where the users want help reimagining their prior workflows and create efficiencies in their day-to-day operations, and where they need training to be productive with the new tools. Like Sean mentioned, I worked for Google for over 10 years and then started CloudGem. So the topics that I have here for you today are these. I want to talk briefly about why you would want to create videos for your business. How can that be helpful? And then we'll go into the types of video creation tools. We won't cover everything, but just a handful. And then focus in on Google Vids. We'll talk about how you can get your hands on Google Vids, and then we'll go into a demo. We'll talk about some learnings and best practices in creating videos with Google Vids, and the manual post-editing that you can do, and then how you can collaborate on videos and finalize them for your final use. So let's get going. So why would you want to create videos in your business? First of all, videos are really powerful tools for your prospects to get to know you and your business. You can really convey a lot with a video, more than what you can convey with just a piece of text. And you can give a good sense of what it's like to work with you through a video. It can boost your know, like, and trust factors, as I'm sure you've heard about those. They can increase the likelihood of actual sales. So with that, I want to jump into a couple of different tools that I've explored. So when I was first starting to create videos for my YouTube channel and for training purposes, I looked into a lot of different tools, and the ones that I'm bringing here are basically meant for laptop or desktop use, so we're not covering anything that's on your phone. The first thing that I explored was, among others, but one that really stuck out was WeVideo. And the pros with that were that the main positive side was that it's a cloud-based tool. Now that's important to me because Google Workspace is a cloud-based system, so it runs in the browser, and I am used to being able to access anything from a browser window. The cons, though, were that there were fewer features than what I really needed. So while this was great for initially learning how to create videos, it didn't sustain me for the long run. So after doing a lot more research and testing out a lot of other video creation tools, I landed on Camtasia. And Camtasia is a pretty well-known tool. It's incredibly robust and powerful, but it had some downsides for me. And up until really recently, I have been using Camtasia, and that's kind of been my main tool throughout the years before I started playing with Google Vids. So the main negative in Camtasia for me is that it's not cloud-based. It's tied to a specific computer. So I can't just start creating a video and then pick it up later on another machine if I, for example, have to be traveling and take a lighter machine like a Chromebook. I have to create the video on one specific machine. And it doesn't work well with Google Drive as the main file repository of resources that I want to pull into the video because it is not cloud-based. Having said that, if you're looking for a very strong video creation tool, Camtasia is one of those. So when Google Vids came out, I was really excited because I know that Google tools run in the Chrome browser, in the browser. And I have found that I really want to go back to being able to produce videos in the cloud. So it's cloud-based. That's a big plus. Another plus is that it has a teleprompter bring built in. So when you start creating your videos, if you don't use the AI, but you show your face and you're talking through the video, it does have a teleprompter built in. The AI assistance is a great plus when you don't know where to start. It gives you sort of a foundation for the video. And it's very highly customizable. So it's not like AI creates the video and that's it. You can tweak it and customize it and put your personal touch on it. It's fairly easy to use. And because it's a new tool, it's getting a lot of new features. So every couple of weeks, I see some little thing new about Google Vids. The cons so far, it doesn't currently have custom templates. Like, for example, you can create templates to be used within your company in Google Docs, Sheets, etc. But this one doesn't yet have that company-specific templatization capability. And your videos are cut off at 10 minutes. So that's the maximum length that you can create currently. So I'm kind of curious if there's anybody here who has used Google Vids, and feel free to put into the chat if you have used it or your impressions. I will keep an eye on the chat here on the side, just to
So I'll help
get a
with that too,
sense.
Gabriella.
Mhm.
So if you
Great,
want
thank
to,
you.
if you've used Google Vids, please add it in the chat. Somebody's used iMovie. Um,
Oh, somebody has used Google
yeah,
Vids. I'm
Google Vids.
curious about your impressions. I will talk at the end.
We have several that are curious about it. We did get a question on Camtasia that I just wanted to ask. The question was, have you used any source control with? You said it doesn't support cloud stuff. Have you used anything like Git with it for source control?
I have not. No.
Well, it looks like we've got half a dozen that are. Uh,
Okay. Yeah, most people seem to be new.
yeah.
Um, there's a question about is there a fee for it? So I'll talk about that in just a second. All right. So first of all, Google Vids is very new. It was released last year. And the way you can imagine it, it's AI assisted, meaning you can create videos from a prompt and optionally from a resource. So we'll look at that in real life. And what it does is uses Gemini AI, Google's AI, for the backend. And Gemini AI is now a core service in Google Workspace Business Editions. That's important because the core services in Google Workspace come with data protection, meaning they won't use your prompts to improve their models, and they won't serve up your output to others either. So that brings me to a very important comment. If you've seen any of my prior presentations, this hand means public service announcement. So I have a public service announcement. If you use any AI tool, not just Google, any tool, look for data protection configurations in the tools to make sure that it protects whatever you input into it, your and your client's data. So you want to look for that. So Google Vids is also part of Google's Office tools. It's accessible from Google Drive. So the learning curve is not as steep because you use it like you would normally use an editor. And finally, it feels like a video editor crossed with Google Slides. So if you use Google Slides a lot, this is going to be fairly easy for you to pick up and learn. All right. So availability, it's available in the Google Workspace suite of tools, and specifically Business Starter is going to have it for a limited time. This was a recent announcement from Google. Business Standard has it built in, and the Business Plus edition also has it, as well as the Enterprise editions. You might see some other editions offering it. The reason I'm calling out these is because the business editions are the ones that can sustain an entire small business. So I usually like to focus on those. So let's get down to the practical stuff. Okay. So if you want to create a Google Vids video, all you have to do is go to Google Drive, pick a folder where you want to store it, new, and Google Vids. And I want to show you how that works. So I'm going to click on new, and there it is, Google Vids. I'm going to be jumping back and forth between my slides and the demo. I'm also going to be playing some of the videos. So if you can't hear something, just please put it in the chat that you can't hear. But we've tested it and it should be working okay. So this is the first screen that you see. And what you want to focus on is on the left-hand side. The Help Me Create is the AI piece, and this is where you can describe what kind of video you want, or you can start with templates. You can record your own video or upload something. So as you can see, it has an AI piece, but it has also a manual customization piece to it as well. So why don't we just get started? And when I was first thinking about creating a video for this particular session, I was thinking, okay, what should the topic be? What could be interesting? And then it dawned on me, well, we could create an intro video for our host organization, Patka, and see what that feels like. All right, so the first prompt is create an intro video for the organization Patka. And I kept it intentionally very simple because I want to really test what it can do. And so let me put this in here. And all you need to do is hit next. And it's creating your outline. Now you can edit the outline, remove things, add things. But what I noticed with the outlines, when I give it a very broad and not very specific prompt, is that the outline is also going to be not very specific. So the output was too generic for my taste. So you can go ahead. I want to just quickly show you what happens if you go forward from this step, because it's interesting. It offers you some templates that you can use. Now, these are not customized to your brand colors or anything, but you can tweak them after. So you can scroll through the templates and see which one looks good to you. But the outline I wasn't really happy with, so I decided that I needed some more modification. I wanted to add some resources. So I decided that I'm going to change the prompt to rely on Patka's website. So I'm going to just quickly open up Patka's website here. So this is the homepage. It talks about the organization itself. It has a featured consultant, and a few other pages that stood out to me were the About page and the mission statement for Patka. I thought those would be good starting points for a video about Patka. So I went ahead and I just grabbed the URLs from these, and sorry, this is the prompt that we're going to be using. Create an intro video for the organization Patka using these website pages. Now, I'm going to go back, and you can reprompt it and just have it create another. There we go. Let's try again. So it came up with a more detailed outline. The issue with this is that it's a logical outline, but I don't see that it has used the content from the website, the pages that I gave it. And it's my conclusion that it can't really create a good video from the website. I'm not going to play through this because I want to get to the productive side of things. So I decided that this is not going to stop me in my tracks. I am going to create a video about Patka. So I decided to further fine-tune my prompt and decided to copy the content as is from the home page, the About page, and the mission statement page into a Google Doc. So for the third prompt, I said, create an intro video for the organization Patka using this file. And what that file is this one. So nothing fancy about this one. Just copy paste the text from the website. So this is from the home page, and then right under it, the About page, and further down, the mission statement. I didn't make any modifications because I really wanted to see what it can come up with about Patka. So the output is this. And I'm going to go ahead and play this for you. And please let me know if you can't hear.
Welcome to PATCA, Silicon Valley's longest-running nonprofit professional association for independent consultants. Founded in 1975, PATCA is a nonprofit organization dedicated to supporting independent consultants and the businesses that rely on their expertise. Over the years, PATCA has established itself as Silicon Valley's premier organization for independent consultants. Our mission is to be your success partner, providing you with the expert edge you need to succeed in today's competitive business landscape. We set the industry standard by providing high-caliber consulting services to our clients. All our members must pass a rigorous qualification process to ensure their expertise and professionalism.
Okay, I'm not going to play the entire thing. I think you get the idea of how it sounds, what it can do. Now, going back here, with regards to this output, it came up with a title for me. I didn't have to come up with a title for the file. But what you may have noticed, like I did, is that it insists on reading Patka as PATCA. So as human beings, we can very easily understand when we're supposed to spell out an acronym and when we're supposed to just read out the acronym. So I was going to do everything I could to correct the PATCA so it sounds more natural and it's pronounced as Patka. So I decided to even more fine-tune the prompt.
We had one question. Was the voice synced with the speaker, or was that an artifact of the presentation through Zoom?
It's automated from the editor, and I will go into that in just a little minute.
Okay.
We will edit it in just a second. So normally what I would do at this point is I would go into the video and start editing, but I really wanted to see whether I could create the perfect resource for it to create the perfect video with minimal editing. So I decided to redo the entire file and change that the uppercase Patka to just P uppercase, and then so that it would read it out as the word Patka. So this is what this looks like. As you can see, nothing else changed, but where I highlighted it with yellow, I just wrote Patka lowercase. And that's throughout. The entire thing stayed the same. I didn't change anything further. So with that, the prompt was really create an intro video for the organization Patka using this file. And whenever you give it a Google Doc URL, it can access it. It just wasn't able to pick up the content from the website. So this was a new version of the Google Doc. And let's see the output. So whenever you use generative AI, it's a bit of a, you really don't know what you're going to get at the end. So you're never going to get the same video with slight modifications. You're always going to get a new video. And I'm going to play.
Welcome to Patka, your trusted source for expert consulting solutions. For nearly 5 decades, Patka has been connecting clients with independent consultants. Welcome to Patka, a nonprofit organization dedicated to providing businesses with access to the highest caliber professional and technical consultants. You need solutions, we provide them. Experience and excellence define our consultants. Our mission is to be your success partner, bridging the gap between businesses and independent consultants. We offer a wide range of consulting services to meet your specific needs. Connect with.
Right. I'm going to stop here. So you can see that it has a different feel to it. And I had a few different thoughts about this video. The written and the sound content is not bad, but the image or the video of the man doesn't really convey Patka to me. So if you look back at it, let's try and find that video. There. So he has a kitchen in the background. That's not really what Patka is about. That's not how Patka wants to represent its expert consultants. And it just doesn't convey what you want it to convey as a Patka video. So what I decided to do is go ahead and start editing the video manually. So I want to walk you through a few different things in here, and we are going to start editing the video. So first of all, if you're going to start anywhere, I recommend that you start on the right-hand side with these controls down here. The first one from the bottom is, I think, the most interesting one. When you click it, it gives you the exact verbatim text that the voice reads, scene by scene. And by scenes, these little tiles are the scenes that it created. So scene by scene, you can go through what it says. You can also click into it, and you can go ahead and edit it if you want to edit it, and you can regenerate the voiceover for that piece. And that's really interesting because you can actually pick what kind of voice you want to use. This one defaulted to a smooth, medium pitch narrator. But if you click this icon, you can try out other voices as well. So let me play these for you so you can see what they sound like.
The voice you select makes a difference in how viewers will respond to your video. It should fit your video's purpose and style.
The voice you select makes a difference in how viewers will respond to your video. It should fit your video's purpose and
The voice you select makes a difference in how viewers will respond to your video. It should fit your video's purpose and style.
The voice you select makes a difference in how viewers will respond to your video. It should fit your video's purpose and style.
The voice you select makes a difference in how viewers will respond to your video. It should fit your video's purpose and style.
The voice you select makes a difference in how viewers will respond to your video. It should fit your video's purpose and style.
The voice you select makes a difference in how viewers will respond to your video. It should fit your video's purpose and style.
All right, so you get the idea. This is the extent of choices that you have at the moment. I anticipate that we might get a few more, but you can really change the feel of your video by picking a different voice. So another thing that you can do with this is you can actually go ahead and record yourself. So what I do with my videos, I start with maybe an AI piece, but I very heavily edit the video. So I like to first of all show my face, and I like people to hear my voice so that they can relate to me in my videos. So I go ahead and record myself. And when you hit record yourself, you can choose face to camera, camera and screen share, just the screen, or voiceover. And you can play around with what works best for you. Let's see, what else? Oh, one really important thing is when you have the face to camera option, it gives you a teleprompter that's a kind of a see-through overlay of your content, and it makes it really easy to look at your camera and read. My tip, if you're creating videos like that, is when you're trying to write your script, if the script sounds too artificial when it's spoken, I personally like to dictate and then copy the text into the script so that it sounds a little bit more natural when it's spoken.
We had a question on the color scheme. Are you going to adjust that at all?
Yeah, we're going to work on the color in just a second. So, but the first thing that I really want to work on is changing this person here because it doesn't convey the Patka person to me. You can do it either from the right-hand side. So going up here, there is the script, there is the recording capability, which brings up basically the same menu here. You can choose from your Google Drive, or you can choose from stock videos and images and music and stickers that Google has. And you can choose shapes and lines. You can add text box. You can choose from templates to bring in a scene. And then you can also generate a snippet of a scene for this video. I'm going to go ahead and choose the easy way, which is I'm going to just click into this image and click on the video icon, and I am going to go ahead and choose something else from the stock. So let's say that we are looking for a business consultant, and I just put it into the search here, hit enter, and then it's looking for a new video for me. I can go ahead and look at what it looks like. Okay, so back to the question I think that was asked before. The video is independent from the text. So the video is playing, and then you can have the voiceover narrate the script. All right, so I am actually going to go ahead and use this because I have decided that's the image that conveys Patka a lot more than the others. I am going to have to do it to any of the other images where this person appears. And for example, this is another one where I would want to use stock images, and I'm going to go ahead and do the business consultant. I'm just going to use the same one for this purpose. Now, the problem here is that you can't really see the faces. It's really focused on the middle part. So I'm just going to go ahead and double click it, and I'm going to uncrop it there. And that should do it. Now I have to resize it. And I can do something like this. And if you have the time, you can go through these videos, search for better ones, etc.
We had a quick question on, can you take a screenshot or add your own image instead of
Yes,
using stock
yes, you
image?
can. It allows you to bring in images from your Google Drive, so you can prepare with screenshots that you want to share. And I do that a lot in mine as well, that you could also create a slide deck and then use your slide deck as the basis of your video. All right. I also wanted to show you another thing here, that we have gotten it
Welcome
to
to Podka, your
say
trusted source.
Patka, but this is not really how we write Patka. So I can go ahead and edit this so that it shows correctly as Patka, but the voiceover will still say it as Patka and not PATCA like the previous iteration that we had. So
Welcome to Podka, your trusted source for expert consulting.
okay, so that feels a lot better, right? We don't have the kitchen in the background. We have the acronym, but it's pronounced correctly. But you would want to change these throughout the scenes, so you would have to change it here as well. And if you're used to editing Google Slides, it's exactly what that feels like to edit Google Slides. Let me just peek here into my notes about what else I wanted to share with you. So we have changed Patka in a few places. Another neat thing that you can do is, beyond the narration, you can add stock music into this as well. So I'm going to bring this back into the beginning, and I am going to go into the stock piece here, which is this one. And instead of video, I am going to go ahead and choose music. And I want to look for some music that conveys that a company is successful. And I'm going to do a search for it. And you see that I have narrowed it down to music only because it offers all sorts of other media as well. And you can listen to it just like you listen to the voices, you can listen to the music as well. And they have different flavors. All right, maybe that's a little too bubbly. All right, why don't we stick with the first one? So you can just go ahead and hit the plus and insert the audio. Now, when you play, let me play it.
Welcome to Podka, your trusted source for expert consulting solutions.
All right, first of all, it's a little loud, right? I also don't like that lead in. It, to my ear, it's just a little uncomfortable. So I am going to go ahead, and there's this slider here down here, and you can just go ahead and tweak it a little bit, trim it back. I also will want to probably trim back the ending. And let's try this again.
Welcome to Podka, your trusted source for expert consulting solutions.
Okay, that's better. Now let's play with the volume. So there's this volume icon for the sound, first of all, I'm going to tone it back a little bit. Let's say that we want maybe 20 or 25% volume so that you can hear the narration better. I am also going to put in a little fade in the beginning so that it starts more quietly and then goes to the 20% volume. So I'm going to say do a fade in for 2.5 seconds. I am not going to do a fade out for this one because I'm noticing that this sound snippet that I chose is actually shorter than my video. So this video was 2 minutes 35 seconds. I want to use the same sound. So what I'm going to go ahead and do is going to go back here and duplicate the sound. So it now puts it in again on repeat. And I am going to trim this back as well a little bit. And maybe even at the end. We may need to do this one more time if we really want to have music throughout. But I also have to check that this inherited the 20%. I am not going to fade the second one in. I just want it to be somewhat consecutive. And you will want to play a little bit about where the sound ends in the first one and where the second one starts. But I could do, for example, a fade out at the end of the video. So,
Highest caliber consultants without any additional cost. Our rigorous qualification process ensures your work.
okay, so we could make it maybe a little bit more smooth, but for the purposes of this demo, I think we'll be okay. So you can play with these stock music pieces to give it a little bit more life. And then regarding the question that came in earlier, you can change the colors. So first of all, what you can do is you can edit it like you would edit pretty much any Google slide. And what I did was I grabbed the hex code for the color that Patka uses in its logo. So I hope that this is the correct hex code. It looked like it would be. And I could, for example, recolor this piece to be more of a Patka color. I can also go into the custom palette and go ahead and say, make everything that's this dark blue, the Patka blue. And then what it does is you see that there was a jump. So in the timeline, it basically just changed that everything that was that color. So you can do the same thing with fonts or the other colors that are in this color palette. And what I like about this is that you can really edit the video in very small pieces. So when I was using Camtasia, I created a template for myself. My intro was face to camera. What are we going to talk about? And then go into the nitty-gritty of the tip that I was sharing in my video, and then an outro. But oftentimes I ran into the problem of trying to record too much in one sitting. And if I made a mistake, it was hard to correct. I had to cut the video or re-record it. So this one really forces you to think in terms of scenes and little snippets. So you can see that it's just a little piece of the video. All right. You can also adjust the length of these and play with that. A few other things that I wanted to show you is,
One
let
quick
me
question.
actually,
So you
yeah.
showed how images can be imported. Can I bring my own audio tracks in? For like
Yeah, you
music,
should be
things
able
like that?
to bring your own audio in as well.
Okay.
Yeah. So what I want to show you is if you go into the script, you can jump from scene to scene. It will just advance you forward, and you can go through the entire thing and just swap out any images that you don't like. For example, in this particular one, I think it chose pretty well for the most part, apart from that person in the beginning. But so we would want to swap him out, but maybe the second image is not that bad for the purposes of this video. Now, on the website, there is a section that's featuring our colleague Perry West, and maybe in an introductory video, if you don't want a featured person, all you need to do is come in here and start deleting the scenes that you don't want. So for example, you just hit the delete key and you have deleted it. I have no idea why it chose this picture for this particular scene. We would definitely change the picture, but I think we can remove the scene for this one, and just keep anything that is related to the organization as a whole in. So as you can see, it left some of the things in there, some of the voices in there. So I'm going to go ahead and remove that so we don't get as much extra stuff. I had to readjust the sound a little bit, and let's see what it's doing at the end. Okay, so it's kind of trailing off at the end. That's not bad, actually. All right. So, but you would have to go through one by one and just make sure that it makes sense, and whatever the AI came up with really makes sense. I think this man appears in the video several times, so you would want to swap those out. And you can also copy paste pieces. All right. So we remove that piece. Let's see what we
Welcome to Patka, your trusted source for expert consulting solutions.
So this is one part where you would want to make the scene a little bit shorter because it's not really working well. It's too much of the visual and there's no sound. So you would need to play around with it, but everything is very much just sliders and adjustments through the sliders. All right. Let's go back into the slide deck. So we talked about editing the script and picking voices. We talked about recording yourself or using stock, bringing in files, images, etc. And all the things that are available on the right-hand side to you. Another thing that is worth mentioning is that you can customize the transitions. The transitions are how one scene switches to another. And so if you click into these intervals, you see that this is set to dissolve, but you can do this pushing motion or spinning, etc. So you can change that as well. Now, when you are ready to finalize the video, or perhaps you want to get a second opinion, or you want to get a team member to help you finalize it or add something in there, this can be shared just like you would share any Google file. So in Google Drive, it lives in Google Drive, so you can share it right from here. And you can collaborate on it, which is great. And when you have finalized it, you have a couple of different options. You can download it as an MP4, or you can export it to Drive also as an MP4. So when you download it, it prompts you with wherever you want to download it on your laptop or computer. With the export to Drive, it just puts it into your Google Drive, and it just lives there and it's ready to be shared if you want to share it. So I want to show you what the exporting looks like. We're not going to wait for the export. It takes a little bit of time, but I want to show you where it is. So if you go into the file menu and you click on download as MP4, that will download it to your computer, and the export to drive is the other option right under it. And so when it exports to drive, it's an MP4 file like this one. I wanted to play what a finalized video might be like here.
Welcome to Patka, your trusted source for expert consulting solutions. For nearly 5 decades, Patka has been connecting clients with independent consultants. Welcome to Patka, a nonprofit organization dedicated to...
Okay, so you get the idea. It took away all the editing tools and it just distilled it down to the video. So coming back here, that's all it takes to create a new video from resources that you gave it, and you can post edit it if you want. So I'm kind of curious about, did this get your creative juices flowing? What are some kinds of videos that you think you could create with this? And I would love to read that in the chat, and I would love to start some questions. If you want me to show you something again, I'm happy to do that. If you have questions about it.
We've had two questions that to me are related. One was around, can you share it with multiple clients, or is there a limit to how many people can access the videos? And the second is how many, how do I put this out on social media? So in terms of distribution.
Okay, so the editing interface, when you share, you can share with up to 100 people and they can edit the video. I would not like to have 100 people in any of my files editing because it can be kind of, that's too many people. But you can share the file with others to edit it. Now, when you download it, when you export it to Google Drive, it behaves like any other Google Drive file. You can share it. You can go ahead and right click and go ahead and share it. If you download the video and choose to put it somewhere else, that's doable too. So what I do for my purposes, I create the video and download it to my laptop and upload it to YouTube. So the last couple of videos I have really tried to just create with Google Vids just to kind of test it out really if this was going to be my video creating solution for the long run and moving from Camtasia to Google Vids. So you could just go into your YouTube and you upload a video like you would normally upload. It's an MP4 file so from that point on, whatever you can do with any other MP4 file, you can do with this file. Whether you can embed it in your website really depends on how your website builder operates. The way I have video in my website, I believe I have one video on the website, and that's embedded from YouTube. So video lives on YouTube and then it's embedded into the website. Any other questions?
So I think we'll just take questions, free format questions now. We had a question from Ashraf. Do you need any kind of commercial license to use this video, or mention this being generated from Google Video? Do they assert any license over the output?
So what they say is that you can use the stock images that you're creating in your video. Obviously, the more customized your video is, the more it's copyrightable to you. And so what I like to do...
Google asserts no rights over it. Google
I'm sorry, could you say that again?
Google doesn't assert any rights over it.
No, not that I'm aware of, no.
Okay. Question on aspect ratios. Can I pick the aspect ratio?
No, not at this time. This is the only aspect ratio that you get at this point in time. And you can only edit these videos on your laptop or desktop at the moment. You can't edit it on a phone or mobile device.
What's a general best compromise aspect ratio for phone and computer, Gabriella?
I'm sorry, could you repeat that?
What is the best recommended aspect ratio that's a compromise for a phone and a laptop screen?
So it really depends on the tool that it's going to be used on. This one works fine for YouTube, for instance, but I know that, for example, Instagram likes vertical, and this doesn't really do vertical at the moment.
So this is really a way to get things on YouTube for distribution at the moment.
YouTube, or if you have other needs for MP4 files. So let's say if you happen to be doing a course and you want to have an MP4 file for your video in your course, this could be a way that you could create it.
Yeah. If you this could go up on Vimeo as well, things like that.
Yeah, it might be good for Vimeo as well. Anything that kind of uses the landscape format, I think it would be good for.
So the MP4 format's just an interchange format. If you import an MP4 into this, it won't come back with all the beats and text and all this. It's just like an output format. There's no once you generate the MP4, you can't bring it back in here and edit it using this same editor.
No, what you would want to do is go back to your Google Vids file, because your Google Vids file lives separately from your MP4 file. So it's not like the file gets converted into MP4 and then the original disappears. The original sticks around and an MP4 output gets created. So if I need to edit the video, I go back to the original Google Vids file, edit it, and then again re-download it as the new MP4.
Yeah, this is the same thing you would happen with Camtasia or any of the audio editors. Once you
Pretty
pull it
much.
out and bring it back in, it's just a single block. It's a blob.
Yeah, I mean, you could bring the MP4 back in, but it's a lot cleaner if you go back to the original source and start editing from there again. It's much easier to.
So Gabriel has generously agreed to make the slides available as well. They'll be up next week. We had a couple of applications for consultants. There was one question about being able to specify specific pronunciations. And if you want to ask that again.
So the specific pronunciations are not really there, and you kind of saw what I tried to do as a workaround. It really insisted on spelling out P-A-T-C-A instead of just pronouncing it as Patka. And it doesn't currently have accent flavors beyond those voices that you can pick from right here from the scripts when you do the generate voiceover. That's the only thing that you can get right now. These are your voice choices.
So it's a basic start. It's not Camtasia, but it's in the cloud, and it's comparable to a lot of other kind of, I guess, second generation, third generation cloud stuff. I mean, if you look at the evolution of iMovie, right? I mean, it's come a long way. And
yeah, it's a very new tool. So like I said, there are things changing a lot and often these days in Google Vids. And I expect that that's going to be going on for a while. So it's good to keep an eye on the changes. So even if you don't have the features that you need in it right now, it's worth checking back on it, because I tried it out when it first came out and I decided not to create my next video with that. But over time, it evolved to a point where I can actually use it for what I need.
yeah, the other thing I think you demonstrated here is this kind of a rapid prototyping tool. So you first used the artificial voice, and then you added your own voiceover once you got it.
Yeah.
So the answer is it can import other interchange formats if you can get it into a Google Doc. Or
Yeah,
can it just take the file
you can
directly?
just upload it into Google Drive, and then
Google
you
Drive.
can pick things out from there.
So if you can export the file and upload it into Google Drive, then you can get it into the Google Vids.
Yes, most likely.
All right.
I was asking, to what extent does the unconstrained, does it understand what's implied by consultant, or the persona it gave us in a kitchen, was that a completely random guess?
It's a placeholder that's just it's for the same way when it showed the gophers standing up around. I mean, it's just who knows?
No, I understand it's a placeholder. I'm just asking how unreliable is it? Like completely unreliable, what is placeholder? Completely unconstrained behavior would be.
It's AI, so it's trying to guess what you want to see, but it doesn't always succeed. So, for example, the video that was first put in here, it didn't, there was a human in there, so it got that part. So there's a consultant human talking, but it didn't really get the whole feel for consultant. But when you go through the video, there are places where it actually got things right. So, for example, this image here, the handshake, that's perfectly acceptable for a consultant, right? And then this okay, so this also, it did it on its own. I had nothing to do with it. It picked out images that worked for the topic. So it is trying to do the right thing, but doesn't always succeed. So the second image here on the right-hand side, this is a fine image for this particular scene. This person, again, we would change out for Patka. And then again here, you know, person in a jacket, tie, okay, that could potentially work again. So, and you never get the same video twice. So if you restart the whole video creation process and create a brand new Google Vids file, it's going to be a different one each time. So there was another iteration that I did where it was featuring a woman, and it was actually more appropriate in the Patka context. She was dressed in a way that you could say she is at work, she is a professional. So it tries to guess, but it doesn't always. And that's true for any AI generation tool.
No, understood. I was just trying to get inside the head of the AI. So if it, the guy, no, I think the guy on the sofa in the t-shirt, maybe if you said fitness consultant or exercise consultant, maybe that's where it picked it up from.
It's possible. It's hard to know where exactly that came from. And you will see the same with the stock images. You put a keyword in for the stock images, and some of them will be better and some of them will be not so good. So when you're trying to manually pick the image and fine tune and post edit it.
Question on usage caps. Can I work on this all day?
I am not aware of there being a cap right now.
Yeah. I guess a question for the AI configuration. Any support for seed control or control of how Gemini is actually working behind the scenes?
So the resource file definitely helps. If you just give it a prompt and say, create a video about blah, 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 chances are the video is going to be either very generic or not to the point at all. So when I was first playing with it to create a video for Patka without any sort of resource, it wasn't anything good. So if you can give it a resource file, you really can guide it, and it's going to be a lot better. Did that answer your question?
Yeah, no, I think it's so. I think he's looking for a different kind of control, and the answer is probably no. In terms of into the Gemini algorithm. Well, I think we're going to break here. I think we've answered the bulk of the questions that were kind of directly.
I should also mention.
Go ahead, please.
That if it's helpful to you, I have similar tips and tricks that I share in my newsletter. And I think Sean put that into the chat. If you feel so inclined, feel free to subscribe. I also offer free discovery sessions. So if this sort of testing and playing around with tools appeals to you, I share Google tips and tricks.
This is a fantastic overview. I like that we integrated the demo and the slides and the whole bit. And I think we're going to break here. The full video and the slides will be posted on Patka. Thanks everyone for coming.
Thank you, everyone.
All right. Bye.